Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka back with another Twitter thread. Today we're talking about lore. So if you're unfamiliar, we just wrapped the Albaz lore, which has been going as long as Yu-Gi-Oh has been in Series 7. Finally, we got to see Ecclesia and Albaz ride off into the sunset while the Vsauce kit, I don't know, hung out with Sprite Blue some more. I'm unclear as to what she's doing with her time. But it got me thinking, what other lore exists in Yu-Gi-Oh's cards? We've been eating good with the most recent sets, but unfortunately most of Yu-Gi-Oh's history is marred with lore that is incomprehensible or not remotely interesting. One exception to that rule is one of my favorites, Summon Gate and Extranet. It's a series of cards that depict monsters too powerful for Yu-Gi-Oh that are on the ban list attempting to leave it. We've got Goyo face planting into the Extranet, Thousand Eyes Restrict waving goodbye to Norden, Shockmaster, Goyo, and Plushfire. This card was actually released as Thousand Eyes Restrict came off the list. It was very funny. Lopter is randomly in the Mist Rune lore. Like, we have no idea why the Runics and the Generators are, connected, but they clearly are. Dyer actually has the explanation. I was not reading. There's a 3-year gap between the introduction of Generator and the start of Ragnarok with Leviathan, mirroring the real mythology of a 3-year winter called Fimbultvetter that comes before Ragnarok. It's so cool. That's funny. Outstanding Dog Marron goes missing and then becomes corrupted by darkness, and then he dies, and then the Skull Servant family walks around with him. Throw up Teekboo. That's got him in it. Oh, Hades is great. So Hades is the ruler of the underworld, I suppose. He shows up in Dark Ruler Hades, and then he's in a bunch of other ones. A Deal with Dark Ruler, Hate Buster, Mind Drain, a significant amount of Floodgates, Skill Drain, Soul Drain, and Mind Drain. Just show this guy getting absolutely butt blasted. It's gotta be Dragonhorn Hunter Corruption Arc as she becomes Dragon Core Hexer. Don't ask me why. I promise I'm normal about this. Please do not visit Callie's Twitter. I'm a fan of the Forbidden Solemn lore. It follows a woman who kept collecting forbidden items, the lance, the chalice, the dress, only to get yelled at by God. Surely she'd learn to stop, right? Well, no. She is pursued in Forbidden Scripture. She's caught by God in Solemn Strike. She retaliates in Witch's Strike, and finally she becomes the condemned Dark Lord. And she's still out here doing forbidden shit. Dropping. I love the art on the Abyss Actor spell traps. You get to see them prepping for the show, giving the performance of their lives, and being showered with adoration for it. It makes the theater kid in me so happy. Let them have this, chat. Spellcaster Tribal has so much cool shit about it. Alistair Crowley, the Spellbook War with Endymion, their origin stories in the Magistus. I love them! Did you know that that's Alistair? Goblin Kid shirt, Goblin Kid shirt, Goblin Kid shirt. A beautiful series of cards. Here, the Goblin Kid gets a shitty Christmas present. Next, the Goblin Kid has to wear the shitty present while eating a beautiful meal. After that, the Goblin Kid sees an adult goblin wearing his shitty shirt. And finally, the Goblin Kid grows to adulthood to open a toy shop and ensure that no more Goblin Kids get shitty presents. Warrior of Zera stuff is good. He's on a search for the sanctuary in the sky. But you know, he goes to Pandemonium. This happens. He reaches the sanctuary and gets the power, but the power drove him insane. And in the ending, he gets the sanctuary, and then he becomes a Magic the Gathering card. The Buster Blader lore. Yes, it's very cool. Buster Blader rescuing this little dragon whelp, and then, you know, actually stop reading there. Nothing else happens. I love Skull Servant. They made this card and just found out that people liked skeletons, so then they made him a wife, and now they go on trips together with Outstanding Dog Marron and White Prince, and it has culminated in him literally just wanting to grill. So the 3rd, 4th, and 5th series? Oh god, it didn't go on that long, did it? Had this background storyline about the dual terminal, and it is incomprehensible. We all pretended that it was interesting. We all were like, oh, they should make an anime about dual terminal. Going back and knowing what we know now about how storytelling can be done with the World Legacy and with Fallen of Albaz, we can, I think, all admit that it's dog shit. Every 2 months, a new big bad emerges, and a terrible hidden arsenal archetype has to fight another one. All of you are talking about the Shadal and Klee lore. Shadal's as an aesthetic is interesting. Kleefort as an aesthetic is interesting. How they fit into a 10-year-long storyline about the worms need to fight the allies of justice, not interesting whatsoever. The prep cards have a sort of dark humor I really enjoy. Oh yeah, killing this bird. Dark humor, we're gonna kill this bird. This stuff was fine. This was the first glimpse of modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Storytelling was when the Luster Pendulums and the Metal Foes and the Zodiacs and the Cristrons all teamed up to beat exactly Masterpiece. Just beat his fucking ass. Oh, you know what? I said Masterpiece, but that's actually wrong. Masterpiece is a good guy. I completely forgot. I saw a Dragonic Diagram and, you know, my synapses started connecting. They're trying to kill this man. And they failed. He outlived all of them. Warrior Lady of the Wasteland and Warrior Digrapher are constantly fighting on warrior cards. We got Simultaneous Loss. We got Dimension Wall. We got Die Dance. This is one in which he's attempting to seduce her. Different Dimension Ground. This is actually when he becomes like Dark. This is him? Is this him? Dark Lucius. That's not Warrior Digrapher, is it? Dark Lucius is Warrior Digrapher? He got his ass beat. Gan Lore. Gan Lore. So Gan gets on the tour bus to the underworld. He's trying to get on the bus, but he gets on the wrong one. He accidentally gets on the tour bus to Forbidden Realms. Here he is being intimidated by Tribe and Stein, and we got Magical Scientist over here on his way to meet Kozaki, but he's able to get back to the surface by accepting a ride from Graceful Charity and Delinquent Duo until it becomes clear that they were smuggling pots of greed, and they all go to jail, and he has to share a cell with the Witch of the Black Forest. But he's fine. He got out. Witch got out too. These motherfuckers are staying in there forever. You are the first person I've met who likes the Vsauce lore. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, the whole deal with Vsauce is that he goes to these other realities and meets his other counterparts. Pretty much every single one of them has become a tyrant. Then he usurps them, and then they all fuse with him. And then he meets like his ultimate form, which is the keeper of all realities, and then he gets killed. Of course, the lore. Discovery from the graveyard. A lookalike of Mr. Skull Servant. The lookalike wearing green clothes is Mr. Wandering Doom. The two of them being peas in a pod has become a topic of discussion in the white community. Simple story, but very tragic. He's a tree. He's charcoal. But he's coming back. We have the technology. Love the Terror King Salmon lore. He's in like a bunch of cards. Here he is in Grappler Angler, in Castle Link, and now they're finally printing Terror King Salmon support. The S-Force fight everyone. Each one of them has like an arch nemesis. Here's the Psyframe Driver. Here's Masquerena. Orifice versus Redoer. I'm sorry. My money is on Redoer, you fucking... I don't care if you have a gun. This guy is a time thief. What are you, stupid? It's very funny because the S-Force are unplayable, and every single villain they try to apprehend is infinitely more successful. I speak for everyone when I say more fucking Magical Scientist cards. I love that, like, the weird design decisions made with this guy in 2002, they're just sticking with. They're like, yeah, he's, wearing a plaid leisure suit, and he's got an amulet. He like now has started mass producing ramen as a job. It's so fucking funny. It's kind of weird that there's not like Dark Blade retrains, but these two in particular hang out constantly. Dark Blade and the little dragon. I speak for everyone when I say give us more Terror King Salmon support. Bye-bye. Goyo and Norden and Shockmaster and Plushfire. Cute. Oh, fuck, there's Master Duel music in the background.